New tonight at 11, a guilty verdict. A man accused of killing 3 people in a drug deal and burning their bodies has been found guilty of murder. Good evening, I'm Scott Levin.
And I'm Mary Alice Demler. After a 6-week trial, a jury found DeAndre Wilson guilty of murder in federal court for killing the trio who traveled from Florida to Buffalo in 2019. 2 on your side's Andy Payton he's live now. He was at the verdict reading earlier today, and he has more for us tonight. Andy?
Yeah, Scott and Mary Alice, U.S. Attorney Trini Ross spoke at her office here behind me with other law enforcement about the investigation in the case that took the city by storm 3 years ago when a 3-year-old child was found all alone on a porch after just witnessing his parents be murdered in front of his own eyes.
I can only say that there's a special place in hell for somebody like this defendant today, and he should rot where he belongs.
After 3 years of waiting, a now 6-year-old child finally got the justice for the death of his parents who were murdered in front of him and set ablaze in a rented van alongside their friend by DeAndre Wilson, just 11 months after Wilson was released from prison for a prior second-degree murder conviction.
This conviction shows our community, our ability, and our resolve to ensure that justice is done for victims, their families, and the communities where these crimes are committed.
It is believed that Demel Ramon Otafred, Miguel Valentin Colon, and Nicole Mercedes Plod made the trip to Buffalo to sell cocaine to Wilson and his 2 accomplices, Jarrell Cobb and James Reed. They were unaware of Wilson's intentions to kill and both pleaded guilty to narcotics distribution and setting fire to destroy evidence this summer before testifying against Wilson this fall.
That drug organization has been dismantled, and that they were just trafficking enormous quantities of drugs, multiple different types of drugs, heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, marijuana, that no longer exists.
Hobbs Act robbery, murder while engaged in narcotics conspiracy, and several firearm charges are just a few of the 15 counts Wilson was found guilty of and are a part of the reason his sentence is still unknown. Looking at the amount of charges, law enforcement officials say he could be facing anywhere from 40 years to life in prison. But regardless of the sentencing, the U.S. Attorney says it's not enough to make up for the lives lost.
We did what we were able to do. That is to use the justice system to bring the full force of the law upon this and the other defendants, in the hope that their convictions for the crimes they've committed will allow you and your families to move forward, knowing justice has been served.
As far as what's next for Wilson, he is scheduled to appear in court for his sentencing on March 23rd. Live in Buffalo tonight, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.